guys, rachybop here. Welcome to another baby bop related video. This time I'm going to be talking about my first trimester symptoms. I used to love watching first trimester symptom videos pre-pregnancy and also during the first trimester, just for that comfort. First of all, it was just to know what to expect and to hope that I was getting those symptoms. And then when you're in it, it's for comfort knowing that this is normal, because the first trimester is a very up and down emotional time where you're very alone. You find out you're pregnant on a stick, then you tell the doctor, and then you call up the midwife, get a booking appointment at like 8 weeks, I think it is here. And then you have a scan at like 12 weeks. That's a really long time to just live with that. I think I'm pregnant. I mean, I feel different, I think. And oh my goodness, what does this mean? Especially after having losses as well. You want to know if what you're feeling is normal versus a bad sign, but I don't think you can read too much into that. I mean, something that is normal for one person and how they might describe that symptom could be a bad sign, could be a fine sign. Like, you really only know yourself, and if you doubt anything, you should contact your GP or go to A&E or whatever you need to do, but you know, don't just cast it off if you feel like something is wrong. But it is a very lonely, very strange time where you probably need the most support and get the least. It absolutely hit me like a truck. I could not get off the couch most days. I would say I probably had 1 good hour a day for quite a long time where I could actually do things. The rest of the time I was asleep on the couch. And I'm not someone who finds it very easy to relax and do nothing, but I had to give into that. I've had to give into that the whole pregnancy because I haven't had to resist that. And it's such a blessing as well that I do work from home and I have been able to step back from what I've done. Although a lot of what I've done has suffered because of it, I know that I can give myself and my unborn child the priority here, whereas I know that a lot of people can't do that. You still have to go to work, you still have to get on with it, and honestly, hats off to you, because I don't think I could have done it, and I know if I had, I would have felt a lot worse. Obviously, we do what we have to do, but I know that on the days when I tried to push myself thinking that, oh well, I normally go for this long of a walk, or I normally do this much work in a day, when I try and do that much stuff, I would then feel pain in my abdomen. I would start being sick, and if I just rested when I felt that first symptom come on, I would then be fine. Or if I just ate when I felt hungry, if I just gave myself what I needed in the moment, I was absolutely fine. Not like amazing, but it was better than pushing through it. And I often think of what the repercussions of that could have been, either on myself or on the baby. So as much as like, oh well, it's okay for you, I know I see a lot of people post that on other people's Instagrams and whatever when they say their experience, especially like celebrities who generally a lot of people watching them just presume they have a better life because they're not them and because they show what they have all the time and it's more than maybe what the viewer has or whatever. And in that situation, it's immediately like, well, it's okay for you, but I don't think that means that it's wrong. Like, if anyone could sit on the couch all day when they need to and give themselves rest when they need to, then that should be celebrated, really. I don't know where that little rant came from, I'm so sorry. Anyway, I've made some little, a list of first trimester symptoms that I experienced. So the first one would be nausea. I had nausea all the time. I was only sick probably twice, and it wasn't like an immense amount, TMI, but I was very nauseous all the time. There was no relief because you can't, like, because I wasn't being sick. I imagine even if you are sick all the time, it's probably not giving you that much relief. People really do suffer from nausea, especially in the first trimester and sometimes beyond. But for me, it's been dry heaving more than actually being sick, and it's the most ridiculous thing. Like, I always have had a very visual imagination, and it doesn't take much for someone to just describe something really revolting and I'll just throw up. But now, well, in the first trimester, and it's easing off now, but in the first trimester it was very bad, where I would just get a smell of something or think of something disgusting, and like, you're watching videos about how to look after a baby and they bring out those things that extract the snot, and it would just be like a quick bend over and that was it. I did feel better after doing it, but yeah, dry heaving, good fun. And like, the smell of coffee made me absolutely gip. Every morning I always make Ryan, my partner, a coffee. That's like part of our morning routine. I will just come down, make him a coffee and take it up so it's ready for him when he wakes up. And I couldn't do that, and I felt awful. But yeah, so I couldn't make him a coffee because I just could not stand the smell of it. It just repulsed me. Also had a constant smell of smoke. Constantly. It was all I could smell. I couldn't get fresh air. All I could smell was smoke, and apparently this is a thing where you get phantom smells. It was just all the time. There was no getting around it. It was disgusting, and then that would make me feel sick, and there's just no relief. Also found myself being more hairy. I don't know, like, leg hair was just, I always shave my legs, I always have, and it just would be there as soon as you shaved it. Like, it just didn't go away. It's better now, but I can't reach now. So tiredness, like I said, I was just on the couch all the time, sleeping, just so much sleeping. I couldn't, our usual routine is we'd walk for about 45 minutes to an hour every day. That's like part of our basic routine, and I just couldn't. I mean, I don't think I maybe did yoga once. I would usually do yoga every day. I couldn't walk any more than like 15 minutes, if at all. It was a big shock to the system after realising how much energy I must have had previously to then having none. Then lower abdomen and back pain / pressure. Yeah, so I did have a lot of lower abdomen tightness across the bottom of my belly. It was like a heavy tightness. I will say it was quite similar to ovulation, because I definitely am someone who can feel when I ovulate, and it was quite similar to that, where if you sit down too fast you feel like you're bruising things, and it was just sensitive. I guess there's a lot going on in there, and I could feel it for sure. And back pain, pressure, I can't really remember that too much, but I imagine that was quite worrying, because you always associate that kind of thing with periods and things, but everything's been fine. Heat rash. I got heat rash all along the inner forearms, especially on the night time. I did find myself getting quite warm and clammy, and that probably brought that on. Nipple soreness, beyond. Sore abs, yes. Still feel like I have that, but I don't think I have abs anymore. Bleeding gums, absolutely, had that all the time when I've brushed, although it's been a couple of days where I bleed and then it's fine. I just find the whole area and my teeth are very sensitive. But I haven't had to use like a baby toothbrush or anything like I've seen some people have to do. Big appetite. I had a really big appetite, so I ate more than ever, especially from having the thyroid problem. If you haven't seen my video about pregnancy loss and things, that's mentioned in there about the thyroid. When I had the thyroid issue, if I ate, like even if I just looked at something, I would just balloon. So then going from that to like having a very small amount of food to then being able to eat anything all the time, just eating whenever I needed, was quite a shift. But I kind of just have this, well, this is what the baby needs, so this is what I'm doing. And I did it and it's all fine. I just ate whenever I wanted to. I craved more healthy things, so I was quite lucky in that sense. And yeah, it was just a lot. But eating definitely helped with the sickness and pain and all that. Also crying and feeling low. I think that was probably like the adjustment of not only being pregnant but being tired and also having to say no to things and just be asleep and not be able to do anything with your days and feel like you're not achieving anything, and it's a big shock to the system in a lot of areas of your life. Dreams, I had a lot of very vivid dreams. Spots, I had quite a lot of spots. They've definitely cleared up now. Backache, I've already said that. I was hotter. I've already said that too. Itchy, massive, painful boobs. We'll skip over that one. And then, but you know, it happens. Paranoia about everything. Oh yeah, okay. So because you're going into this unknown territory and you've maybe had losses before, or you're very worried that you will, everything is a threat. How do I know I'm using the right shampoo? Can I do this? Can I do that? Can I use the Oculus because it has cancer warnings on it and danger to fetus? And can I paint my nails? Like all these things that some people say, yeah, you're fine. And then other people say, well, no, why would you do that? What's the point? Why would you risk your baby? And there's very little guidance. You're not seeing a midwife till later. When you do, it's more about who you are as a person and how you want to go on with the pregnancy and things. And I imagine it's a lot worse. I was quite lucky in that I am vegan. So when I was told what I could and couldn't eat, which wasn't till 8 weeks anyway, and you know, it's all right saying don't look on the internet, but if you're not going to get any guidance till that point, then you are going to have to look on the internet. A lot of the stuff that you can eat, I wouldn't eat anyway because I'm vegan. Did I mention I'm vegan? But there are some things that you could accidentally eat, that like herbs and whatever, raspberry leaf tea, that you shouldn't have. But I was quite lucky that I never really came across those, but there were some things that I thought, oh my goodness, I better not drink that pop or eat that certain herb or whatever because I've heard that that's bad, and you could probably do them quite easily by accident. I just think there's very little guidance there. But those were all my symptoms from the first trimester, mainly just suffering. And I was quite glad to get out of that because it probably did feel like as well the longest part of the pregnancy. I think it's definitely flown by much faster now I'm in the second. And also when you hit the second, you feel more like it's established. You definitely are pregnant. You can look at yourself and know that you're pregnant. Other people can tell you're pregnant. You've told other people you're pregnant. You can buy things for the pregnancy, for your baby. You can prepare. So it's not like that first trimester where it's this big suffering secret of newness. But let me know your first trimester symptoms down in the comments if you have experienced any during pregnancy, and also how you coped with them, how you remedied them. Personally, I mean, obviously my main remedy was to be able to just lie down whenever I wanted to during the day. I don't know what remedies I would have found had I been out at work or that kind of thing. So those might be useful to some people if you could drop those down in the comments. But yeah, that's it. Those are my first trimester symptoms. I will do a second trimester symptoms video when I'm out of the second trimester. I hope this video has comforted someone, and I'll see you again soon. Bye. It still looks like a beer belly though.